This Indian startup is taking on Boston Dynamics and Tesla to build humanoids right here in India. Welcome to Backstage with Millionaires. I'm Caleb Friesen, your host, and before we dive into these hardware startups that are shaping the future of the country, let's take a quick look at India's journey in building humanoid robots. So it all started in 2008 with AcYut, India's first indigenously built humanoid. AcYut was built by a team of BITS Pilani students who worked with scrap aluminum and old motors from their robotics lab, and they were told that this couldn't be done in India, but like most young entrepreneurs, they didn't listen. And in less than 1 year, they had a fully functional humanoid, and that same year, AcYut competed at RoboGames, the world's largest open robot challenge, finishing 6th place. By 2009, their upgraded AcYut 2 climbed to 3rd place, and by 2010, they won gold. And by the time AcYut 4 was built, it had become India's first autonomous humanoid capable of walking, kicking, and even dancing to Bollywood music. Now, the next big leap came in 2014 when Diwakar Vaish, a student at Shalu University, built Manav, India's first 3D printed humanoid. And unlike expensive robots that cost between 18 and 20 lakh rupees, Manav was priced at just 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees, making it affordable for colleges and universities to use for research. And Diwakar's goal was to make humanoids accessible, and he achieved that by sourcing and building everything locally in India. And since then, Indians have been pushing the boundaries with low-cost innovations. Take, for example, INDRO, India's tallest humanoid at 6.5 feet, which was later overtaken by BHIMA, a 7.7-foot humanoid built by HoloWorld in 2022. Then there's also Shalu, a humanoid robot developed by a Mumbai-based computer science teacher for just 50,000 rupees using wood, cardboard, and newspaper. And what made Shalu unique is that it could speak 38 foreign languages and 9 Indian languages, earning it the title of India's low-cost answer to Sophia. And even ISRO has joined the humanoid race with Vyommitra, a semi-humanoid designed for India's first manned space mission, Gaganyaan, scheduled for 2026. And so India's humanoid journey has come a long way, from robots made with scrap parts to humanoids headed for space exploration. So now that we've traveled through the history of humanoid robots here in India, let's take a look at 5 Indian startups that are building humanoids and shaping the future of robotics in the country. And the first company that I want to talk about here is Addverb Technologies. Sangeet Kumar and his co-founders started Addverb Technologies in 2016 with a bold vision to build cutting-edge automation equipment right here in India, reducing reliance on imports from Europe and Japan. And over the last 8 years, they've done exactly that. Addverb has built the world's largest mobile robot factory located in India, which is capable of producing 100,000 robots annually. These mobile robots, which are designed for tasks like picking, sorting, moving, and quality checks, have already automated more than 500 warehouses for global clients, including industry giants like Reliance, Amazon, Coca-Cola, and Pepsi. But Addverb isn't stopping there. They've set their sights on something even more ambitious: humanoid robots. And so earlier this year, Addverb announced plans to roll out 100 humanoid robots by 2025, and if they succeed, it could be groundbreaking for several reasons. See, Boston Dynamics took over a decade to develop its humanoid robot Atlas, whereas Addverb is aiming to achieve similar results in just a fraction of the time. And their confidence comes from experience. Earlier this year, they launched Tracker, a robot dog designed for search and rescue operations in dangerous environments. And one big reason why they were able to pull this off was because most of the tech and hardware is already out there. Addverb didn't have to reinvent the wheel, an approach that they're likely to replicate with their humanoids. Addverb's humanoid robots will initially focus on specific industries like retail, fashion, and energy, handling simpler tasks such as inventory management, sorting, customer care, and safety inspections. And building a humanoid is incredibly hard and expensive, and that's the reason why only a couple of companies in the world are even attempting it. But Addverb has a significant advantage, which is Reliance. As their largest stakeholder and customer, Reliance's partnership with NVIDIA to build large-scale AI infrastructure will provide cutting-edge technology that Addverb needs to integrate advanced software with their hardware. And with the backing of India's richest man and a proven track record in robotics, Addverb Technologies probably has better odds of succeeding than most Indian startups in this space. Okay, now let's talk about Cosine Robots, a startup that was founded by Kiran, Mathew, Koshy, and his college senior Delip, and their journey began in 2023 with a bold vision of building affordable humanoid robots entirely from scratch. But without access to massive funding like Addverb Technologies, Cosine Robots started by building a humanoid prototype using off-the-shelf parts. But it was during this process that they discovered a major roadblock, which were actuators. Now, if If you're wondering what an actuator is, think of it like the joints of a robot. Just like your elbow or your knee allows movement, actuators provide the motion in robots. And the more actuators you have, the more range of motion your robot gets. And complex movements like walking, gripping, or even dancing require advanced actuators. And so robots like Boston Dynamics' Atlas rely heavily on high-quality actuators for their impressive motion. But here's the catch. Traditional actuators used in industrial robots cost around $1,100 each, and since even a regular industrial robot requires 6 actuators, the cost can add up pretty quickly. In fact, according to Kiran, 75% of the cost of making almost any robot actually goes into actuators. And so this gave Kiran and Delip an idea. Why not build better actuators at a lower cost? And so that's exactly what they did. Cosine Robots has developed an actuator that costs just $300, over 70% cheaper than traditional options, and their plan here is simple. By selling these affordable actuators, which are already in demand by customers, they'll generate revenue to fund their ultimate goal of building fully functional and affordable humanoids in India. So for now, actuators are their stepping stone, and their actuators are ready for production, and they've already lined up a bunch of customers to get their journey started. Now, while Cosine Robots is tackling the affordability and mobility challenges for humanoids, this next startup is solving an equally critical problem, giving robots the ability to see and pick up objects without any prior training or programming. Meet CynLr, a Bengaluru-based startup founded in 2019 by Gokul and Nikhil Ramaswamy. So right now, robots need extensive programming and training to perform specific tasks, and that's why the robots that are building cars, for example, are completely different from those assembling smartphones. But CynLr's vision is to change that. They're developing technology that allows a single robot to work across industries, from building cars to smartphones to pretty much anything else. Now, CynLr isn't building humanoids, but their technology could solve a crucial problem for companies that are building humanoids. And one of the biggest challenges humanoids face is dealing with diverse, unpredictable objects in their surroundings. Most industrial robots lack vision and rely on pre-programmed movements, but humanoids need to see and understand objects in real time, and that's something that CynLr's tech can achieve. Their proprietary vision stack, CLX1, enables robots to identify an object's color, depth, and shape and pick it up without any pre-programmed instruction. And you can see this demo from CynLr. It's basically a semi-humanoid with 2 arms and eyes. And we reached out to CynLr's co-founder Nikhil to ask if they plan to build humanoids or collaborate with humanoid developers, and while we haven't yet heard back from them, we felt their technology that makes robots smarter deserves a spot on this list. Okay, next up, some of you might remember this viral video of a robot dog on X, and the company behind it is one that we want to talk about next. This is Muks Robotics. And if you scroll through the replies under this viral video, you'll see comments like, "This is just a sticker job," or comparisons to Boston Dynamics. And so we reached out to Mukesh Bangar, the founder of Muks Robotics, to get the full story. And Mukesh did confirm that the robot dog, which is called Guardio by the way, was indeed imported. However, it wasn't meant to mislead anybody. Guardio was part of Mukesh's research to test the capabilities of Muks OS, an AI-based operating system for robots that he developed in-house. So while they didn't design Guardio's hardware, Muks Robotics has created several robots for clients, including the movable assistant robotic system, autonomous package mover, and a precision robotic arm. But the real innovation of this company lies in Muks OS. According to Muks Robotics' website, their operating system makes robots teachable, allowing them to learn and adapt to their environments without requiring pre-programmed instructions. And using supervised learning, trainers can provide examples and feedback to improve robot performance. And this is the exact kind of tech needed for humanoids. And that's where Muks Robotics is headed next. They're working on a new humanoid series called Spacio, which will be entirely built in India, and Spacio is designed for space exploration, handling tasks like walking on other planets, collecting samples, analyzing them, and then sending data back to Earth. Muks Robotics also plans to develop an Earth version of Spacio with wheels instead of legs, and this version of Spacio will act more like a personal assistant capable of cleaning, cooking, and serving food and drinks, similar to Elon Musk's Optimus. All right, next up on our list is Invento Robotics, a Bengaluru-based startup founded in 2016 by Balaji Vishwanathan, a name that some of you might recognize from Quora. Invento Robotics builds informational robots that function like kiosks on wheels. And while these robots might not seem as complex complicated as other advanced humanoids, Balaji's vision wasn't about chasing futuristic tech. Instead, he wanted to create practical robots that could be used right now. Balaji was initially inspired by the progress of Boston Dynamics, but he noticed that something was missing. None of their humanoids were commercially available. And that's when he decided to focus on building robots that could actually solve real-world problems and, in the process, kickstart a robotics revolution in India. In 2017, Invento Robotics launched their flagship robot Mitra at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Now, Mitra isn't a fully fledged humanoid with legs, it's more of a semi-humanoid assistant designed for retail and healthcare, and it's used in banks, hospitals, and stores to assist customers with queries. Now, Mitra can recognize faces, process speech, and navigate autonomously using its wheels. In 2019, Balaji took Invento Robotics to CES, one of the world's largest tech expos, and was surprised to find that Invento was one of the only Indian companies in the manufacturing space there. And if you're curious to learn more about their journey, we actually did a podcast with Balaji back in 2019 after he had returned from CES, and you can check that podcast out up here if you're interested. But either way, that's all I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. I'm Caleb Friesen, and this has been Backstage with Millionaires. I'll catch you in the next one.